Are you ready to sell your jewelry?
How do you know?
I'm Elaine,
And I'm Patti, and we're jewelry designers here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads.
and we're so happy to be here together to share with you 10 clear signs that you should start selling your jewelry.
So stick around to find out what they are.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
As jewelry designers, both Patti and I have made that jump into selling our own jewelry.
We've been there. We know what it's like to be on that precipice where you really want to sell, but you feel unsure. And it can be daunting to put yourself out there. So we are so excited to be here today with you to talk about these 10 signs so you know if it's your turn to gem.
Yep.
Number 1.
You make more jewelry than you can possibly wear or give away. I am a guilty party of this, Patti. I made so much starting out and practicing that I can't just wear everything. And I've even tried to give away most of it, but there was a sign that I should start selling.
I actually starting out wanting to sell. And then you practice and you practice more and you get good, but you continue to practice. And you end up with this inventory that you don't know what to do with. And I only have so many people to give it to. So it's really a sign to put yourself out there.
Number 2.
Your friends and family actually wear the jewelry that you give them, even if they know they're not going to see you. That was a really important one for me. One time, my sister put up a profile pic on social media, and she was wearing my necklace that I made, and it really made me feel good, and it gave me that confidence boost that other people want what I have to offer, and it's time.
Yeah. My similar story, and I knew that she was wearing it even though I couldn't see her, is my best friend in Los Angeles. She would wear my jewelry, and I would know that she was wearing my jewelry because she would call or text me and say, I had so many compliments on yada yada piece that she was wearing. So made me happy.
It's a great sign. Number 3.
Friends and family ask if they can actually buy your jewelry. So my friend in LA, she started asking me to buy my jewelry to give as gifts for the holidays, for her mom, etc. That was a real confidence booster for me, and also a sign I should start selling.
Absolutely. I had a similar thing with a friend that I gave jewelry to for years. I said, if people I love are going to get a gift from me, they pretty much know what it's going to be. And one day she came to me and commissioned pieces and paid me really well for it. And that gave me that feeling of security that I can put it out there, that people will pay for my work. And I did.
Yeah. Number 4.
You constantly look at the work of vendors at fairs and events and think, I can make that. I'm so guilty of that even to today. The cool thing about it is that when you see people going up and buying that stuff that you know you can make, you know you can be the person behind the table. And you really know that it's time to make the leap.
And that was like the magic word that you said, Patti, is I can make that. Because if you're already saying that and you're looking at vendors, you're halfway there. And it's the same thing. Vendors also give me inspiration when I'm doing stuff like working with my polymer clay. I'll say, I can do that, but I can do that in polymer clay. So don't be discouraged. Get out there. That's another sign.
Number 5.
You have so many jewelry supplies that you can't wait to start making beautiful things to sell. So Patti and I are giggling a little because she knows what my craft room looks like. I have started out as a hobby first, and I have so many supplies. Now, I'm not a hoarder. I'm very well organized and clean, but I think it's a telltale sign for me to start selling when I get that much inventory.
It's so true. I have a friend that actually refers to me as a dragon because I have so much treasure in my jewelry room, which I have a whole room. And it's just waiting to be made into something beautiful. And at that point, she just gets so much, it starts creeping out into other areas. It's time to put it out there and sell. You have to do something with those supplies, and you can generate more income to buy more treasure.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Number 6.
You've developed your skill set, and you know that your work looks and feels professional. That's a really key point, because when you can look at what you've made and it looks like something that would be in a store or at an art fair, and you've seen people purchase those things, you just know.
Yeah, and it's really, really important to start and develop your skills like Patti said. So, unlike Patti, I did not go to school for jewelry making. So, when I got hired as a jewelry designer, she was my teacher. And I asked Patti, what is the first thing I need to know and learn to look professional? So, she handed me a spool of copper wire and a pair of round nose pliers. And she said, Start making simple loops." So I started making tons and tons of loops, and then graduated into wrap loops, and then waited for the approval of my teacher.
And she got it. She was diligent, and it did not take her long, just maybe a couple of days, and she had it down. That practice made perfect. And when you get perfect, or, close to it, where none of us are perfect, but when you get that look that's professional, you can go.
And you'll be your own worst critic. You'll know when you get there.
Yeah. But don't be afraid
No.
to jump. Number 7.
Strangers compliment or even ask to buy the jewelry that you're wearing. So this has happened to me multiple times, whether it's waitresses in the restaurant that I go to, or shopping. And what Patty's good suggestion is always say, "I've made it," because that gives you your boosted confidence. Because if a stranger's coming up to you and asking you about your jewelry and they want to buy it and they want to know where you got it from, it's another sign.
It is, and I'm so glad Elaine adopted that, and I feel like you should too. I feel like everyone that makes jewelry should get that habit of saying, "I made it." If you do that when someone comes up and compliments your jewelry, you know that you can sell it. I actually had a stranger come up and ask to buy a pendant off my neck. First time ever. And guess what? I sold it to her, and for a very nice profit. That really shows you it's time to sell.
Number 8.
Your work has a recognizable style that will really stand out in the crowd. That's really important. When I started wire working, I love spirals, and I just started making them. I learned to hammer them beautifully, and I just kind of sprinkled them in all of my work. I still do that a lot. And when people see my stuff, when they have no idea it's mine, they can pick it out. And I've developed a niche. And when you have a niche, it's much easier to sell your jewelry. It really shows you, get out there and sell.
And like Patti, I have a niche, but mine's more childlike and whimsical and polymer clad food items. So when you see our items together, it's really cool because they'll see wire working and they'll see polymer clay and they'll say, "Oh, that's Patti. That's Elaine." But to be honest, sometimes Patti and I really like to trick them. And
It is really fun
Yeah.
to learn each other's thing.
Yeah.
And they don't know whose it is, but it's fun because they automatically say Patti, even if it's Elaine, because it looks like my work.
Right, right.
That's why you have that niche, and like people will gravitate towards it and people will buy your things. Number 9.
You have some free time and some capital to invest in a new venture. I cannot wait because I actually have most of my capital already invested in all my supplies in my craft room. So I can't wait to go out and start selling. It would actually make my hubby more happy if I got rid of most of my supplies. So I can't wait for this retirement plan that I have.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what you do. It's going to be really fun. It's true. The importance of a little time and a little money to invest, you just need those two things. So when that comes up in your life, and it doesn't need to be a ton, it doesn't need to be full time. You can start out on maybe a social media platform where you can sell and just have a few pieces, sell those to start, and then generate more income, do more. Just make sure you have those two things, and you know that you're ready to go.
Number 10.
You have the drive and desire to make a new secondary income or even a primary income. That's really important, having that drive, that passion to make jewelry and to put it out there and to see it on people even. That's just as fun sometimes as making the money. We all like that too. But that passion is what's going to give you the impetus to put yourself out there.
Yeah. And I cannot wait to actually take every inventory that I have and turn it into a second income, because that's going to be my plan for retirement, as a second income. Well, that may be a primary income. Yeah,
I think it will.
Yeah.
She's really good at what she does. And I think you could be too. Just keep going. And the thing about these 10 signs is that, number 10, I feel like that drive, that passion is necessary. You have to have that. Combine that with a few other of these signs, and you'll know. Remember, you don't have to have all 10. Just a few can be the driving force behind you putting yourself out there.
And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you're watching this video, you already have maybe one of those 10.
Absolutely. We know what it's like to want to sell. And if you saw yourself in some of these 10 signs, you may be really on your way.
We are so excited for you. It's an amazing journey to take.
And we have so many how-tos and video resources on our site that are actually invaluable to sellers just starting out.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and sign up for our email newsletter. Links to those and to the resources are in the description box below.
See you next time.